Welcome back to day 2 here at the Long Beach Grand Prix Expo event, booth number 1247. This is Edward Rentasso, and I'm joined today by Eddie Moreland. He's an instructor at Long Beach City College with the CTE department. Eddie, welcome, and tell me a little bit about yourself.
I've been doing this for a long time. I enjoy it. I'm a teacher. But as far as I do this because I can help a lot of people out, make some very good money. Automotive technicians, minimum wage when they bring their own tools is double minimum wage. So it's like $35 an hour. There's dealership technicians out there making over $200,000 working on cars. So could this actually be very, very good for a customer or for a person to learn a job and a career? The other thing I push is I can go anywhere in the world and find a job. Is it fun? It always changes. It's never dull. You're doing something new. It's challenging every single day. So it's a really cool, if you're technical, position to be in.
Now you're telling me something earlier about you first interacting with engines. Tell me about that a little bit.
That what?
Tell me earlier about interacting with, like, designing an engine or building an engine earlier. Tell me something about that.
My dad was definitely different in that and I didn't know any different, but he had me rebuilding engines by myself in 3rd grade. I started working actually when I was 7 years old on trucks, actually. But I had watched my dad do it. I knew what was going on, and I was very technical. So I learned that. I'm very technical. I forget people's names, but if you tell me something technical, I remember it forever. I've had some very good opportunities in my life. I worked for Ford Motor Company as a service engineer. I actually taught dealership technicians how to fix cars, and if they couldn't fix it, I had to go out and fix it. I had 180 dealerships that I dealt with. So was it really cool and fun to go see this and do this? Yeah, it was. And dealership technicians or independent technicians, we're very proud of what we do. And it's so big. It takes a lot of education to get there. But when I get there, can I make a lot of money? Yes. Does it cost a lot of money in tools? You will never stop buying tools. But again, is it a very, very rewarding, personally, is a very big rewarding job? Yes, it is.
And you mentioned you were with the Ford company. How long were you with the Ford company?
I actually started off in the assembly plant. It was over in Pico Rivera. I worked 10 years there. They shut the plant down. Went back to school, got my degree in automotive technology and race car technology, and then I went back to Ford Motor Company, and a couple years later I became an instructor for Ford Motor Company. And I retired at just under 37 years.
37 years you worked and you retired after that?
I'm sorry, what?
37 years and you retired after that?
Yes. Well, I retired, but I can't stay retired. So I just keep going. By the way, that was in 2007. So that was a long time ago.
So you got out before the whole economic fallout of that year then?
No, that was when everything was falling out.
Oh.
So 2007, 6 and 7 is when the dealers started dropping down. But I started working in community colleges in 1985, part-time. And I've been working in community colleges ever since then. And I enjoy it. Again, it's a great way to give back to people.
Now, how long have you been here at Long Beach City?
I've been in Long Beach now for 4 years.
4 years?
Yes.
And with the CT department as well?
Yes.
And you are currently an instructor for what class?
Right now I'm doing air conditioning, the basic auto, but I also do anything that they want me to do. I have a gigantic background of every single thing on the car.
So if you could pick any type of subject, what's better for you? Air conditioning or automotive mechanics?
I have fun with all of them. So I don't care what it is, but I also bring a lot of things from other industries. I also teach a lot of other industries. And so I bring those into our industry as well. And so therefore, we can do the job better, faster, quicker when you have all these other tools. So I bring a lot of tools in.
Now, would you ever consider working on vehicles like in motorsports, IndyCar, NASCAR, the trucks?
Yes, but my problem is whatever I have that goes fast, it can't go fast enough, so I got to make it go faster. So I'm never okay with it. I still take and ride a four-wheeler out in the desert. It only does a little over 90, and it's one of the motorcycle four-wheelers. Am I making it go faster? Yes. Why? Because I can.
Now let me ask you a question. So you mentioned you started working on engines at a young age. Did you ever have a possibility or an idea that maybe one day you would maybe open up your own business in regards to maybe building engines or supplying engines to the motor companies?
Yes, I almost did open up my own shop. I shouldn't say open. I was going to buy a shop that I was working at, an independent. But I started looking at, for me personally, I didn't want to put that many hours into it. Let me go do my job. Let me go have fun, make enough money to support my stupid habits. And so that's why I never did open up my own shop.
You felt more like building the engines instead of just like doing the business side of having to like maybe deal with contracts and
yes, definitely. I'm not a paper pusher.
It was just more like, hey, I'll just build this for you, but I don't want to be involved in like the business side of it.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely. That's for me. I am a very technical person, and I enjoy doing things with my hands.
What was your favorite vehicle to work on? If you look back between now and today.
My favorite one was actually a 1929 Model A.
Model A?
With a high-performance engine in it. It had a high-performance 1929 motor in it. My favorite car is the mid-1960s AC Cobra. The Cobra still, we can't beat it today except with electric cars. It goes from 0 to 100 and back to 0 in 11 seconds. And it was on drum brakes and bias ply tires. So we didn't have anything back then, but yet it's faster than all the cars today.
Now, I asked this yesterday, what's better for you, electric vehicle or motor vehicle?
We are pushing electric vehicles. We got to take and get away from fossil fuel.
Okay.
Do I agree with electric vehicles? They're not clean. People think, oh no, they're clean. To make the electricity, to get the electricity to your house, the batteries, they are a dirty car, but it's an alternative to gasoline. And we have to, because we're going to run out of gasoline one of these days.
Yes.
And that's where the problem comes down with that. Are we ready for it right now? No, we're not. And that's why a lot of states have now rescinded the mandated electric car as of today. Ford Motor Company has actually cut production down. They're not going to build cars as much as they used to just because no one's buying the electric cars.
Yeah, that's true. That's that too as well. But I know a couple years ago, and you mentioned some states are kind of like pulling back on mandates, but I believe from what I understand, California is still on intent to try to kind of phase out gas vehicles by 2034 in place for electric vehicles. Is that something that you would support and agree on, or is there something that, let's say, you know, hey, we're not ready, maybe we shouldn't push it yet, maybe give it a couple more years after?
I also do wind and solar, and I have for 25 years. So I understand what it takes to get the electrical here and where our houses are wired as, and we're not ready for it. And we can't be ready within the next 5 or 10 years. All of the older houses have to have a new electrical panel, and that's $8,000 to $10,000 just to be able to plug your car into your house. So we're talking about a major, for our Los Angeles area here, a major cost just for me to go get an electric car. So do we need to? Yes, we do. Are we ready for it? No, we're not. And that's what we got to get ready for.
So I have 2 points I want to bring up real quick. So yesterday I had Michael here, who's one of the automotive teachers, and we talked about this. He mentioned that if we go to full electric vehicles, I know you had mentioned earlier that at some point we might run out of fossil fuels, and I believe I agree with you on that. But let's say they start using more electric vehicles. He mentioned something about the electricity issue, that there may be outages. Would you see something like that happen once everything's phased out to?
We already have outages. And again, where we're getting more electricity is my concern. So again, do we need to do it? Yes, we do. Can we do it right at this moment? I don't think we really are capable of doing it. And again, that's why a lot of states have rescinded that law to make it go longer. They also want all the semi-trucks off by 2042. They want all semi-trucks to be electrical. Where do we have all the charging stations?
We're still putting those up. I know we have some available on campus, but
Yeah,
still,
not enough to take and charge all these cars.
even the parking garages here on Pine. On my way over here this morning, I saw a lot of charging stations, but not enough. There may be one row on the bottom level, but there's still a whole level that no electric chargers yet.
So we're just not ready for it yet. Do we need to do it? 100%. We're just not all the way ready as of this date.
I mean, will it make it better? I would say yeah, but like you said, I agree with you. We're not ready yet. There's still a lot of kinks. There's still a lot of missing pieces on that puzzle. But just one more question. I know we're here for Grand Prix weekend. Would you ever get an opportunity to work on one of these Indy cars if they ever say, hey, can you come take a look at this engine, tell me what you think we should do? Can we make it faster? Do we need to just take it out and rebuild it again?
The mechanic parts of it's very simple. When you take and look at a race car, though, and you're going to notice every time they go to take and before they actually run the car on the track, there's a guy with a computer.
Yeah.
He's reprogramming it for that second because the weather, the barometric pressure, the temperatures, all this stuff is going to control what the car is going to do. And they can put too much horsepower. They can put too little horsepower. So they're programming the car at that second before it physically takes off the line.
You know, the funny thing too is when I came this morning, it was cloudy. I believe it's still cloudy. They're out there qualifying right now, so I like to see how that goes, and then more importantly, how they're gonna get the calculations for tomorrow's race.
Exactly.
Because the weather might change, so that's gonna be an interesting thing that you brought up. You know, programming to right now, then between now and tomorrow's race.
The other cool thing about it right now, because it is cool, the air is more dense.
Yeah.
So we have more oxygen, so I get more horsepower. So it actually runs better when it's cold. The cars run better when it's cold than it's hot. So if we had a 90-degree day, the cars couldn't go as fast because the air is not as dense.
Now one more question. I know you've been here since yesterday, I believe, or today. You interacted with a lot of people so far. Have you gotten any good feedback as far as the CTE program goes for Long Beach City College?
Yes, as far as there's a lot of people that don't know what's available out there. A lot of people don't understand what jobs are available out there. And until they actually go try something and find out if they like it or not, every job is not for everybody. I seen an article one time and it said the average person by the age of 39 has 9 different careers. So what do I really want to do? And you've got to try it and see if you like it. So I push people to try something and find out if this is going to be their forte, and if it is, great, you can go a long ways with it. But don't let anybody say you can't do it. I have a ton of ladies that are phenomenal automotive technicians. There is no stereotype that we can say you can or can't do this job. So again, go for it. Go for your dream, and don't let anybody ever try and stop you.
Yes, and the CTE department does offer all those opportunities, correct?
Yes. And the cost is very low for what you can get.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I do want to thank Eddie for coming on. Again, if you want to know more about the CTE department here at Long Beach City College, you can log on to our website, lbcc.edu/CTE, for more information on the automotive department, the degrees, and anything else you want to know about automotive. I'd like to thank Eddie for coming on today to join us. Go and stick around. We'll be right back right after this. Mic one, mic one. Mic two, mic two.
names, but I don't want anybody to be offended. I didn't like,
Oh, yeah, no, I won't do that.
you know. So
And this is Edward Rentasa with IE News. We're here at the Long Beach Grand Prix, and I'm welcome and honored to have Dustin, who works with Porsche Motorsports, that's located in Carson, California. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on. Tell a little bit about the Motorsports shop.
the Motorsport Shop is Porsche Motorsport North America. We handle all of the service side of Porsche racing, Canada, the U.S., Mexico, Central America, South America. So we handle pretty much anything that's not in Germany. We handle here in the U.S. We do full engine rebuild service, gearbox service. We do axles, uprights. We have full parts department. We have track support on site, and that they handle all of the teams, supporting the teams when they come to events like this. They can, if teams are in need of parts, if they're in need of engineering, just overall technical support. So I'm lucky I get to come here as a spectator. Typically we don't have engine troubles at the track, so I get to come as a spectator and hang out and enjoy the festivities with running of the cars. So all of the work that we do out of the Carson facility is all under the manufacturer of Porsche, and we again, we support all of our race teams. We support club event drivers, teams, anybody that's basically running Porsche is under our support, basically. So we also handle historics. We do historic racing support. So if you're running an older 917 model or with some of the older air-cooled models, we also handle that side of it. Our facility, we can do from general maintenance to full rebuild of drivetrain, car restoration. We have facility for total car restoration, or if you just want to display the car at our facility, that's...
Now, I want to talk about the shop. I've driven by the 405 many times, and I've seen the wide open area. I've seen the Porsche test cars there.
Yes.
Is that something every day that happens? You guys test every day?
So the Porsche Experience Center in Los Angeles, they had the Experience Center. So if you want to come drive a 911 or a GT3, you can set up an appointment and you can drive it through their modules on the track there, located in Carson. It's kind of a separate business from PM&A. We do share workshop together. There are technicians that are dedicated to the experience cars, and then we have our side of the business where the motorsport handles all of the track vehicles, so all the race cars.
Now, I've seen the vehicles out there, but are we able to bring like our own vehicles out on that track as well, or does it have to be just sports vehicles?
Not that I'm aware of in the past, and I don't know if they do it currently, but they do like a parade lap, where if you brought your older 911 or your 944, your personal model of Porsche, you're able to do a parade lap, but it's at controlled low speeds, usually behind one of the coaches that limit the chaos that can potentially happen on the track. So, and that usually happens during, they have I think a monthly Cars and Coffee style. It's called the morning shift at the Porsche Experience Center. So anybody can come, they can bring their cars. Typically it's mostly Porsche, but we do get, some hot rods and some muscle showing up. But for the most part, when you come, you're driving the pool cars for the Experience Center. You're not actually driving your car on the track. And that just keeps the level of potential hazardous situations happening when they're on the track. So it's very controlled. When you're driving the Porsche Experience Center cars and their coaches, it's a controlled environment, so you're not going to get into trouble while you're out on the track. So, yeah.
Now, we talked about earlier about Porsche. You mentioned, we talked outside camera about there's male drivers and female drivers. How much of a success has the brand been in motorsports with drivers and just technology and the vehicles?
I mean, the technology now is tremendous with the hybrid systems. We're running the 963 cars today, so they're running a powerful turbo engine along with electrics on the car. The technology is mind-blowing. For me, I'm not in the hybrid side. With the GT3 engines, that's my main responsibility as a modern GT3 motors for the current race series. Most of the teams, we're working with Penske, and they're out of Florida, and they have their own just absolute crew of people that handle all the support and engineering for those teams. So our teams, as far as technology, I started with motorsport in 2000, and this is right when they were phasing the air-cooled Porsches out of the series into the water-cooled engines, and that's where I was trained. So I was trained on the early 996, and we went through generation 997, the 997-2, and now we're into the 991.2, 991.1.2, and the current car is the 992, which is our current model race car. So
now, with events like this, Long Beach Grand Prix, Indianapolis 500, how important is it for these teams, or how important is it for you to see a Porsche driver, Porsche team go into victory lane at events like this and Indy 500?
It's amazing. Anytime, I mean, just crossing checkered flag is a feat in itself. With the potential of failures or crashes during the race for whatever circumstance, we want to see the cars cross the checkered flag. Obviously, we want Porsche teams to win. There's a lot of competition out there, different manufacturers, and the amount of effort that goes into just running one car is very extraordinary. And when you can finish, let alone, take a third, second, or even a first place podium win, it's a victory for everybody. All of the crew for the team, obviously the people that run the team. You got engine builders, we have transmission builders, we have full parts crew, and everybody's in this similar goal to achieve that checkered flag and bring those manufacturer points home, so that we can hopefully win manufacturer's championship, drivers championship, or a team championship. Those are the goals that we're set out to achieve at the end of the race season. So we're always rooting for Porsche. The other manufacturers, obviously, we want to take the checkered flag over them, but it's about the teamwork that's involved to get to that point. So how well the car's driving, how well the teams are performing, how well your pit stops go. Things happen, unfortunate circumstances. I remember here at Long Beach, the FAF car a couple years back, the wheel nut off of a Corvette flew over the car into the cooling radiator and punctured the radiator, and they were out for the race. Porsche with the FAF team was out because of a punctured radiator. So things happen in racing, and trying to have a flawless race so you can get podium is obviously the main goal in racing, is to win.
We actually seen in motorsports, the pit stops are very crucial. Track decision is very important. A mistake like that can really cost a team a day. going into tomorrow, what are the possibility, the chances that you'll see a Porsche driver win the checkered flag here?
Tomorrow, our main event is today, so we won't be running tomorrow. Tomorrow's running the IndyCar. So our main event is with IMSA. We have the race. I mean, it's starting in about 10 minutes.
10 minutes from now.
And for me, going into the general admission grandstand at the start-stop line, you can see the pits. So during the race, you can see the cars come in. You can see them changing tires and fuel the car. I don't know if they're doing driver changes or not. They constantly practice driver change to get the quick pit stop. And sometimes a fast pit stop can excel you into a second or even first place if you're behind P1 and P2. So it just all depends on circumstance, how well you've practiced, how well you've choreographed the stop. You know, do you have all your tires ready? Is everybody working together? And so on and so forth. So, yeah.
Now, knowing that you're going to watch the race here from the stands, how much honor and proud it is for you? What does it mean to you showing that you had something or you have part in that vehicle being out there racing?
It's amazing. It definitely gets you a huge sense of satisfaction on your work. Like when you can build an engine and have it test successfully at our facility. We test all the engines, we test all the transmissions, so that when the team receives the powertrain, they know it's been tested and validated, and that they won't have any issues. It's supposed to make the power that it has been homologated to the series. But to be here physically and sitting in the stands and watching these very competitive teams blast around the track and something that you've had your hands physically into, it's overwhelmingly satisfying. It gives you a sense of pride and ownership, basically, on the work that you do at the shop. So it's kind of the reward. It's not just a product leaving and it might come back to you in 6 months or a year and you do it over again. It's actually seeing that vehicle being propelled down the track by an engine that you assembled it's like I said, it's overwhelmingly satisfying for me. So, and I've been doing it 23 years and I'm not bored yet. So, and I hope that with the progression of technology, they can, lower emissions, but still keep gas-burning vehicles in the race circuit. Things have been going hybrid and electric, and I'm a gas man. I'm a internal combustion engine builder, and I hope, for my sake, for my future, that we can continue that with, trying to hit the marks for being environmentally friendly in racing. All of our engines run catalytic converters. With the systems on board, we're running variable cam timing. We try to create as little emission. It's probably the worst industry to be in to be environmentally friendly, but we're doing our best to be as friendly as possible to the environment. So, and that's important for our children. And I have my son here and his friend, and that's an important focus to have the fun, to have the power, to build fuel efficient engines, and to have victory at the end of the day is where we want to try to be for racing for Porsche. So
that's very well said, and thank you for sharing that. Now, just one more question. As far as the location in Carson, if we want to pay a visit there, what do we need to do? We just go in just any time, or
the facility is typically open Tuesday through Saturday. They're closed Sunday, Monday. I don't know the hours. It's usually 9 to 3 or 3:30 or 4. It doesn't cost anything to walk in the door. We have the atrium that has, maybe half a dozen or more cars on display. The Porsche Experience Center offers sim racing. I think that has VR as well. There's a cafe and a restaurant. And then, of course, the Experience Center, you want to drive a car, right?
Yes.
So they have a wide range of experiences from the 718 to the 911 to the GT3 models. The SUV models, we have an off-road course, so you can do off-road if you want to do off-roading. And then the motorsport facility is in the same building, but it's not open to the public. That's behind the glass wall, but you can see what we're doing. You can see us working on vintage race cars. You can see us building engines and transmissions, and just general motorsport work in the facility. So that's what you can kind of expect to come by the facility in Carson. Sometimes there are private events that they sell out the whole facility, so it's closed. The last big one was Ford versus Ferrari. They rented the whole place out, and they did some filming there. So, and that's the beauty of having that experience track there, is that instead of renting out racetracks in other areas, some other manufacturers, engineering companies, and movie production can come. It's right there in LA. We're 20 minutes south of LAX, and they can use that track there to do whatever they need to, and not have to drive far distances to get their jobs done. So
that's very interesting. I want to take it out. I'm sure a lot of our students are watching right now. Want to take a look at it. So if you're in the area, in the Carson area, come check it out. It is very awesome. Dustin, thank you for coming. So
no problem.
I really appreciate it. I know you got to get going to the race, to the race, and best of luck. And hopefully someone will come on the victory today.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it so much. Thank you.
It was a pleasure meeting you, and it was a pleasure meeting everybody else.
And this is Edward Ritasa with IE News. Thanks for watching.